Hey everyone, this is Roland right here, and in today's video, I'm back from another pre-release. This one was on Sunday, May 2nd, 2021, and as you can see, I ended up playing Chane for this pre-release event, and I pretty much won. I lost one game, but I came in as the top Shadow player and won the Shadow mat. You don't see it here because I sold it for both cash and then another playset of the cold foil promos, and now I have 3 of them. So that was pretty much the best optimal way I can end that. I didn't really need the other play mat, so I'm happy. I did not make any great pulls today, but I'll show you guys my deck. I'll show you the cards I pulled that didn't get used, and yeah, that'll end it for the pre-release. So in terms of cards I didn't use this Gallantry Gold. Of course, I'm not playing Warrior. Didn't use Prism, so no Herald Tenacity Red, Herald of Tenacity Red, Wartune Herald. I don't know why I'm putting these face down. No Wartune Herald. We got other Wartune Heralds, 2 Herald of Ravages Blue, a Herald of Rebirth Blue, Herald of Triumph Red. Here's that foil. I think it's a really cool card foil too. Herald of Protection Red, and Ode to Wrath Yellow. And then for our Illusionist cards, we got an Enigma Chimera and Spears of Serenity Red. So pretty interesting. These are all pretty good Illusionist cards, but notably nothing too cheap. No non-attack actions, only the Ode to Wrath. Although Illusionist doesn't really have a ton, just no prismatic shields. But I'm really happy. I was going into this essentially praying that I wouldn't pull great Illusionist cards because I really didn't want to feel subconsciously inclined to go Illusionist again. Because I feel like it's kind of cheating in that regard. I mean, we had a lot of Illusionists today. We had quite a few Illusionists yesterday. So I'm glad I didn't feel like I was forced into that. In terms of the remaining cards we have, for our Warrior, we had decent pulls. We had 2 Take Flight Reds. That's a pretty good card. Cross the Line Red and Blue. Second Swing Yellow. Battlefield Blitz Red. And a Gulfing Light Red. Courageous Steel Hand Red. Plow Through Blue. Express Lightning Red and Express Lightning Blue. So decent Warrior pulls. However, as we'll see in a moment, I pulled almost no light cards. I think I pulled 5 or 6. So that was kind of a huge reason why I didn't even bother trying to go Warrior today. And for our remaining cards, we got for Brute, we got Pulping Blue, Dread Screamer Blue, Boneyard Marauder Red, Boneyard Marauder Blue, Unworldly Bellow Yellow, Unworldly Bellow Blue foil, Unworldly Bellow Blue again, Hungering Slaughterbeast Red, Hungering Slaughterbeast Blue, Graveling Growl Red, Graveling Growl Yellow, Writhing Beast Hulk Red, Writhing Beast Hulk Yellow, and that's it. And notably, only like 5, I think, 6 plus cards there this time. Total opposite of yesterday's pulls. The generics didn't have any 6 pluses either, so there's just no way to go Brute. We got a Frontline Scout Red, Overload Red, Pound for Pound Red, Surging Militia Red, Zealous Biting Red, Yanti Yellow, Rising Solar Tide Red, Impenetrable Belief Red, Impenetrable Belief Blue. These are our light cards at this point. Seek Enlightenment Blue, Ray of Hope, Blinding Beam Yellow, and then for our Shadow cards that we didn't use, Blood Tribute Red and Blood Tribute Yellow. As you can see, we're playing Chane, and I think Blood Tribute's really solid and Levia, but I was less interested in running it for Chane. So that's pretty much it. Those were our cards that we didn't use. No Majestics, as you probably noticed, which is a bummer. We got pretty fortunate last time with 3 Majestics, but no foil Majestics, no cold foils. Today we only pulled 1 Majestic, which I did have in this deck. Wasn't really good. And so yeah, not super lucky there, but we won 2 play mats and got a full play set of the promos, so can't complain. All right, taking off, we got our Chane. So before I get too far into the deck, let's talk about my sideboard, because my sideboard was actually fairly relevant here. Now today, I only played Light Heroes. In the event I played Dark, I had an Overload Blue, Adrenaline Rush Yellow, Belittle Yellow, and 2 Memorial Ground Yellows. Mostly because my deck is 25 cards, I needed to fill it out with something, and so these were the 5 I chose to try to fill it out. However, if we went against Light, we had the good fortune of having a Spew Shadow Red, Spew Shadow Red, Spew Shadow Blue, and 2 Eclipse Existences, one being our Cold Foil, and the other being one I pulled from pack. And those are nice. Those are pretty good against the Shadow Heroes. Not tremendously powerful, but The pitch threes were nice. These gave me, there were a few instances, sorry about bumping the camera, there were a few instances where I was able to do a good amount of damage off of the Eclipse Existence and Spew Shadow, so pretty good pulls. Let's go into the deck. So for my Chane deck, I'm running, of course, Chane himself. Galaxy Black is our weapon. Soul Shackle, we have an Ironhide helmet or an Evenfold. Pretty much ran Ironhide the entire time. I was playing against Light. I'd rather have the defense against Light heroes. If I was going against Shadow, I'd probably run Evenfold. But there you go. Ironhide Plate and an Ether Ironweave. I ran Ironhide Plate pretty much the entire time, but there was one game against a Prism where I ended up running the Ironweave, mostly because I wanted to get the energy, of course. It worked out pretty well. They didn't realize I had energy left to spend. I had used my entire hand, so they kind of let their defenses down, and I was able to use that energy to swing pretty big. Got Stubby Hammers, ended up forgetting to use this every single game, so ended up not using it a single time. I think I used it in my very last game for 2 extra damage. Alright, this time I actually did sort my deck. So we got an Unhallowed Rites blue. Decent card. Personally, ended up not really using it. I think I used it once, mostly for pitch fodder otherwise. Vexing Malice, really good and limited. This card's really good. 2 free arcane damage off of 1 for 3. Combos with Stubby Hammers, combos with Minnowism, combos with Belittle, all that stuff. So really good card. It combos with a lot of stuff, to be honest. And the 2 free arcane damage is no joke. You play this, do the 2 free arcane damage, give it go again with Chane's ability, and then because you did arcane damage, there's a bunch of Runeblade cards that suddenly turn on, so that's pretty good. Got a Riftbind blue, Warmonger's Ritual red, really good card to have in limited. Bounding Demagon yellow, Rip Through Reality red. We got a Captain's Call yellow, pretty good card, but admittedly I only really used it I think 2 times. A lot of my cards cost 2 or more, so I think this does lose some value depending on how you build your deck. If you had cheaper cards, it gets much better even for Chane. We got Minnowism yellow, Rise Above yellow. I actually really like this card in Chane. I only used it like 2 times out of my games, but the fun part of it was I could use this. Nobody's expecting a defense reaction in limited, but if I send the card to the top of deck, I know it's getting banished, and so I'm saving a card from deck, and I still get to play whatever I end up banishing. So pretty decent in Chane. Lunar Tide Plunderer blue, Adrenaline Rush blue. Both these cards very solid and limited. Ended up using them pretty much every time I drew them, otherwise, or pitched them if I needed to. Like if I was ahead, I wouldn't use Adrenaline Rush. Brandish red, pretty decent card. Opponents pretty much always block this for 3, as you'd expect. It's nice to be able to put that pressure on, though. It's not like a phenomenal card or anything in Chane, but it's still nice. It helps you potentially get that hit on Galaxy Black, which is cool. We got a blue Rifted Torment, decent card. Used this to win 1 game. They were down to 1 life, and I threw this out for the arcane damage. Piercing Shadow Vice red, solid card. Rally the Rearguard yellow and blue. Ended up not really using them except to attack. There were a few times where I almost used them for the defense element, but I feel like they're best against either you're in an emergency or you have cards that can't use to defend, or your opponent has Dominate or something like that. It just never came up. Howl from Beyond blue, Seeds of Agony red, you love to see it. Void Wraith yellow and blue. Ended up playing this card quite a bit. It's just a flat hit. It doesn't do anything. And there's the Dimensional Crossroads again. So there's my Majestic from these 6 packs. It sucks. I don't think Crossroads is great in limited, at the very least not in sealed, mostly because it's decent if you pull it early on, but if you pull it too late, it doesn't do too much. I'm happy it's yellow, and so I pitched it most of the games. I think I ended up using it once in a way that was meaningful, and that's about it. So, but it's still a good card, don't get me wrong. If I could stack these, if I had pulled another one in this pre-release or even 2, then like that gets really good. But I just don't have consistent ways to guarantee that I'm going to be able to trigger it more than once or twice before the game ends. Seeping Shadows blue, did not like this card. Didn't really come into play much. And then an Arcane Crackle at all 3 variants, really good card. Ended up using this quite a bit to combo with my stuff. And so that's it. So that's another pre-release down. That's it for Monarch. The set releases next week on the 7th. I have ordered 4 boxes for first edition that I won't be opening, but I have ordered 12 unlimited boxes, which I'll be getting when Unlimited launches in about a month. So you guys can expect to see those videos come up when those come in. Otherwise, this has been Rolling Right, guys, and I'll see you later.